Hi everyone, and welcome to NNTV, the television station where the Niagara region is seen and heard. A damn cloudy day today, although we will see a little bit of sunshine by tomorrow. Chrissy Van will have your complete AccuWeather forecast a little later in the program. Let's take a look now at some of the top stories we're covering in the area. A second suspicious fire in the Meriton area has police stepping it up a notch with their presence. At 4 a.m. Tuesday morning, a blaze torched a trailer in a shed located at 4 Ball Avenue West and completely destroyed the structures. Police have not yet confirmed whether the incident is related to 4 other fires, including 2 on Oakwood Avenue and another on Hartzell Road, and 1 more on Battersea Avenue, which caused $75,000 in damage. Fire Chief Mark Mellenbacher is urging residents in the area to discourage arson activity by cleaning up loose garbage and locking structures outside the home. Samples from the current blaze and eyewitness accounts are being used to analyze the cause of Tuesday's fire. Today kicks off the beginning of the provincial spring seatbelt enforcement and education campaign. Now, we all know that wearing a seatbelt while driving is just the safe choice to make. However, as Chantal Varco finds out, the next week we'll have police looking out for offenders if you decide not to buckle it up. Here she is with more on that story.
Despite the rain, Niagara Regional Police are out on the roads today to kickstart a 10-day seatbelt safety watch. The provincial seatbelt campaign runs every April in an attempt to improve the compliance rate for seatbelt enforcement. Sergeant Orlando has been a police officer for 17 years. And during those 17 years, he has never had to unbuckle a victim from a fatal collision.
Wearing a seatbelt does not prevent a collision, nor will it cause one. But what it does do is it makes a difference between a serious or fatal collision and merely broken glass and twisted metal. The compliance rate in Niagara hovers in the 90-91% range. But that's 1 in 10 drivers that we find are not wearing their seatbelt. So we like to pull them over, give them a bit of education, and in this case, take enforcement action.
The seatbelt law has been in effect for the past 30 years and has greatly reduced the number of collision fatalities within the province. Along with buckling yourself in, drivers with young children are being reminded to check that all car seat restraints are properly fastened. The NRP will be moving throughout the region until the 23rd, enforcing seatbelt safety. Those caught without their seatbelts on will face a $240 fine, along with 2 demerit points. In the past hour alone, 9 people have been pulled over and charged here on Merritt Street for not wearing a seatbelt. Reporting for NNTV, I'm Chantal Varco.
Some good news for the health system in the area, as Provincial Health Minister Deb Matthews has unveiled a plan to increase the number of nurse practitioners in the region, as well as the rest of Ontario. Nurse practitioners are nurses that have received extensive additional education in the medical field. Healthcare would become more efficient with these nurses, as they would be able to admit and discharge patients themselves. Ontario currently has 6 nurse practitioner-led clinics up and running right now, with 25 more on the way, including 1 in Niagara Falls next year. The So You Think You Can Cook competition highlights the talents of award-winning Niagara chefs. And NTV's Janelle Steeper has that story.
After receiving close to 100 entries, a Niagara chef was chosen as one of 3 to go head-to-head in the culinary competition called So You Think You Can Cook. This past Monday, Chef Eric Henry Anderson of In on the 20 in Jordan traveled to Toronto to compete in the cook-off. The annual competition is put on by Norcliffe Farms to raise awareness of fiddleheads, which is a vegetable that looks like a fern. Chef Anderson describes it as a great experience.
You know what? It's always nice just to meet new chefs and go to new places. And I'd never been to La Palette before, so it was nice to meet the chef there, Brooke. It's just a great experience, even for meeting the judges and having a chance to talk with them. And it's a bit of some networking, and we can goof around a bit, and we all share a common goal kind of thing, as far as doesn't matter where you're from. So it's competitive, but it's also it was a friendly match as well. Lots of handshakes, and we all sat around and had a drink afterwards. So it was nice.
Recipes were judged on taste, use of fiddleheads, appearance and presentation, as well as creativity. And that means the competition got pretty hectic.
Like I said, even though we were competing against each other. We pretty much try to make it more of a team effort, especially for plating for the judges, because it started with 25 and then ended up being 30 people, so it was sort of, we had to go boom, boom, boom kind of thing.
The winner this year was a chef from Look's Bistro in Ottawa. Although Chef Anderson didn't bring home the trophy this year, he's looking forward to the competition next year, and with any luck, will bring home the trophy to Jordan. For NNTV, I'm Janelle Steeper.
From fine food to fine art now, the 9 Lives art exhibit at Rodman Hall showcases some of the finest artistic talent that Brock University has to offer. NNTV's Mike Morgan headed down to talk with some of the artists to find out more about the upcoming events.
Brock University's 9 Lives exhibition features artwork by graduating honors students in such diverse mediums as sculpture, photography, and even video.
The exhibition opens April 15th, but I had a chance to get a sneak peek.
The 9 Lives exhibition is the result of a year's work. It is a course, and for this course, students work toward an exhibition. They are usually the 8 to 10 very best students in the department who apply the spring before with a proposal for the course, and then the whole department decides who to accept or who not to accept. This year we have a phenomenal group of 9 students who have worked non-stop from last September till now, and they're still working. In addition to making their work, they've also had to do all the promotional materials, organize the opening, catalog, write papers. It's a significant amount of work, which they have all risen.
My piece is about working with found objects in alternative forms of artwork, so not the traditional contemporary painting or drawing. It's about finding things and using them to make artwork. So I find a lot of things on the side of the road, and just in people's garbage, and then just kind of bringing it together and assembling it. So I decided to make this sort of family dinner table that was perfectly set, and I used a lot of things from my childhood, like cookies and embroidery and all these things that I grew up doing. But so it's all pretty and nice on the outside, and then like you realize the cookies spell out the word complete strangers, and it's just about how I grew up with such a large family and we spent all this time together, but now that I'm getting older, I'm realizing I don't even really know who they are. Like, yeah, they're my brothers and my sisters, but I don't know anything about them. Like, they're just strangers to me, so.
Can you describe your piece and what it means to you?
They're really figurative works, using a monochromatic kind of application of paint, so using really similar color families. And in my work, subject matter would be something of quiet contemplation and even ideas of enlightenment and introspection. So it's usually singular figures dealing with one's own consciousness and even becoming conscious of one's own consciousness. I use primarily oil. I use a water-soluble oil because it's a little bit less toxic, and I can have longer time to get a smoother surface, get more liquid kind of textures, which I'm looking for in this kind of essence of almost a spirituality and that kind of slow introspection that I'm looking for in my work.
The 9 Lives art exhibit will open April 15th at 7 p.m. and remain on display at the Rodman Hall Art Center free of charge until May 1st. In St. Catharines, I'm Mike Morgan reporting for NNTV.
And that concludes our look at the news around Niagara. Please stay with us. Your AccuWeather forecast, sports, and entertainment, along with more news, all still on the way.
Although we know that rain brings the spring blooms, a lot of you looked unimpressed today with the wet weather. The good news is that high pressure will take control of our weather tomorrow, which is shaping up to be the perfect spring day. You'll want to take advantage of these drier conditions as we're only getting a little break from the rain. It's due to return at the start of the weekend. On the national outlook for tomorrow, Vancouver will be getting some rainfall and a high of 8 degrees while dropping down to 2 overnight. Edmonton will be feeling the chill of winter with a high of only 1 degree and some snow. Regina will also need to be bundled up with a mix of sun and cloud and a high of 3. Winnipeg will reach a high of 7 with sun, but will take a chilly dip to -7 overnight. Toronto will manage to get up into the double digits during the day with partly sunny skies. Montreal will get a mix of sun and cloud and a high of 11, while St. John's will need their umbrellas out with the rain and a high of 8. On the regional radar and satellite from the past 12 hours, you can see the low pressure system that we just got caught on the northern fringe with has been slowly pushing out of Niagara. The clouds have started to break throughout the evening, and we may even manage to have mainly clear skies later on tonight. The regional outlook tomorrow shows that we're in for an enjoyable spring day tomorrow, as temperatures will range from 7 to 14 degrees, but don't pack away the winter clothing too early, as lows will get down from -3 to 1 degree. Taking a closer look at our battle between milder days and cold nights over the next 72 hours, we will reach 12 degrees tomorrow before dipping to a chilly -3 Thursday night. Then we will rise into the double digits to 10 degrees to end off the work week before dropping to 3 degrees Friday night. Once the low pressure system keeps moving away, drier air will move in later tonight. The clouds have started to break up throughout the evening, and we may have mainly clear skies later on. We will have a nicer day tomorrow weather-wise as high pressure settles in and takes control of our weather. The result will give us partly sunny skies and milder temperatures. It won't be getting too warm, so you'll still want to wear a spring jacket. A cold front will cross the region from the north tomorrow, which may bring in some clouds, but little to no precipitation. As for the weekend coming up, get your umbrellas ready, as a strong low pressure system will be moving in for Saturday, and there may be some lingering showers on the latter half of the weekend. So be sure to take advantage of the dry weather tomorrow and Friday if you have any outdoor chores to get done. On this day in weather history in 1858, the weather played a significant part in creating the Toronto Island. In 1852, a storm flooded sandpits on the peninsula that created a channel, and then it was a violent storm on this day in 1858 that created the eastern gap separating it from the mainland. That's all for your weather updates. I'm Chrissy Van.